If you've ever rewatched a show just to feel something familiar again, you're in the right place. Whether it's a podcast or this book, because that's what we're doing. I'm rewatching. You're half and half rewatching part of
Yes,
it,
yes.
watching it, but then there will be other shows and movies that we're
Mhm.
rewatching or watching for the first time, and there's a sense of nostalgia or taking us back to a certain place in our lives, a certain season, so to speak,
Mhm.
of our own lives, and we can remember the people that we walk through that with and remember it either fondly or thankful that we're not there anymore.
Yes.
There's something comforting about returning to a story you already know. That is the joy of a rewatch.
Mhm.
There's no stress in it necessarily. The characters feel like old friends. The music hits in the same place every time, especially if it's in the 90s and 2000s.
Mhm.
Even the conflicts feel safe because you know how things turn out. Life doesn't always give us that kind of clarity. Sometimes we're somewhere in the middle of our own story, between seasons, between decisions, between the person we used to be and the person we're becoming. That's where this journal comes in. So, anyways, here's my book.
I love it. I meant to bring mine tonight to get you to autograph it.
So I keep forgetting this came out.
It's been a couple weeks.
It's been, I think today marks a month.
Mhm.
But this is the paperback copy. And it is, I mean, I'm very proud of it and I love it, but I will say the paperback copy has white pages.
Mm.
The ebook version, the pages are colored and the text is colored. So I'm very proud
Yes.
of the ebook version. Now, I love having my paper copy in my
Mhm.
hand though because I just am proud.
Heck yes.
But I will say the color pages give it a little extra pop. But
Yes.
anyways,
It's
so
fantastic.
yeah, I love it so much. But I mean, the different sections, it is a very niche thing, but it's for, if you're listening to this podcast, it's really up your alley. So it's the main
Mhm.
character reset.
I'm proud of you.
And at the back it's got like a little podcast page that just
Mhm.
kind of gives where you can find us, but also inspiration for the book and how you can follow us and just further reflection. It's divided into pilot episode is a section, comfort rewatches is a section, mid-season slump, character arcs, and season finale, and then all of the resources at the end. But at the very beginning, this is like one of my favorite parts. It's previously on, and everything is with the language of television. Yep. And so just how our lives show the parallel of like a television show. Obviously, fiction versus nonfiction. We have been called out on that, obviously. But we can look at our lives in this way. Previously on or moving into the next season of our lives. Characters come into our lives just like they come into TV shows, and sometimes we like those characters, sometimes they're there to serve a purpose, and sometimes they move on, they help us grow, they teach us lessons. But this journal has different reflection questions, and you can do it at different points in your life too. It's not just do it and it can be done, because our lives are consistently changing. But the first little section is previously on, and it just reminds us that every life has seasons and they all look completely different from the person beside us, and we don't have to compare ourselves either. And this journal is just where we start noticing the story, kind of like we're doing with this podcast. We're noticing the story to be told through these TV shows.
I'm so
Check
excited.
it out. I mean,
it's awesome.
It's fun. The possibilities are endless, though.
Right. I mean, I love the fact that, like you say in it, that you can skip around. Like, you don't have to start at the beginning. You can go anywhere in it. And I read it all the way through. And there were some areas I was like, yeah, don't look forward to filling that out right now. Or
No.
like, just
I know.
we're gonna move on.
When I was writing it, I thought the same thing. I was like, wow.
But there were others that was like, okay, I really don't know how I would answer that. Even at this moment, even in some of the parts that would be kind of like the past or reflection or whatever. But that's the cool part about life. You
Yeah.
don't have to have all the answers at
Mhm.
any given point in time.
My suggestion would be, if you have a paper copy, write it in a colored marker the first time, then you put a date beside it, and then go back in a different color and put a new date. But if it's the
Or just get another
ebook,
one.
yeah, you can always buy another one. But honestly, it helps the podcast if you
Sure.
buy one. It helps the podcast.
Yes.
But it can always be redone because we're constantly
Mhm.
reflecting on our lives, and our lives are constantly changing.
Yes.
How we answer something in one season of life,
Or even one day.
yes, true,
Or 1
true,
hour.
could be completely different.
Yes.
And that's just, honestly, that's the fun thing. I mean, every single day I in bed at night and I reflect over the day, or I reflect over conversations I had throughout the day, and I think about how I could have done that conversation differently, or what I would say when I had more time to think about it, or things like that. And I reflect over things I'm grateful for from the day, or what I'm stressed out for coming up. And so this is really just like a book version of all of that. You know?
I mean, what's the term that I'm looking for? I mean, there's self-reflection, there's there's some other word that I'm just not thinking of right now, but it is a good thing to just ponder, not saying you got to ruminate or obsess over, but just to stop, pause, and ponder over things of the past or what's going on currently. Because if you don't stop to take that pause at any given point in time, you either run the risk of missing what's going on in the present, repeating something that you don't want to from the past, or potentially just not stepping into what you want to do in the future.
This paragraph really encompasses point of it all and what it is versus what it isn't. The main character, Reset, isn't a productivity system or a self-improvement challenge. It's a quiet place to pause and reflect on where you are in your life right now, using the language of the stories that shaped us, television shows, movies, and the characters who helped us understand ourselves a little better. And I will say, if you don't watch TV with the same lens as us, this probably isn't for you. And that's okay. But if you watch it with a sense of, you watch an old show, like I've mentioned several of them that are on my list in this book, like Dawson's Creek, One Tree Hill, Friends, The OC, Gossip Girl, Gilmore Girls, these different shows that I have a fond memory of. The characters, the good they did, the bad they did, all the things in between, it takes me back to a place and a time and how I was feeling and the things that were happening in my own life. So not escaping my life by living in theirs, but it helps me go back to what it was like for me in the 8th grade watching the OC for the very first time, and the friends that I watched that show for the first time with, and where we were going. I remember the exact night where we were the first time I watched the OC. We were going to the state basketball championship in Jackson, Mississippi. We got to miss school, not skip, it was excused. We got to miss school and we rode down there together, and one of those friends introduced that show to me. Like, that's what TV does for me. It takes me back to places and times, and I know like music has that impact on you too. And it was really fun, and I'm proud of it, even if,
as you should be,
only a few people
I'm
get
proud
to
of
experience
you,
it. But
I think it's great. It's so great.
Yeah. It's on Amazon. The paperback copy is Amazon. Because to do an ebook on Amazon, it would be a Kindle version.
Right.
And it wouldn't be editable.
Right.
So to do the true ebook and download it, you go to Etsy. And I'll put the link to everything in our show notes. So anyways, go get your copy, because I won't say it will ever sell out because it's an ebook, but you know what? Get this copy before the next version comes out.
Yes.
That's what I'll say.
Yes. So what's next?
Well, we got to sell some more of these first. I'll say that.
Okay, that's fair.